And then ultimately, when you're looking, and I think Americans can really identify with this, having been involved in a war on terror for 13 years, it is still a war. It is not just crimes. Effectively, there's a philosophical war going on, and soldiers come in all forms. And when you have mandatory conscription and service in Israel, effectively the Palestinians will say it's war against everyone because everyone's a soldier.
Well, that's just racism and bigotry to say that everyone is a soldier.
But everybody is.
All right, that's one of the most despicable things I've heard in a long time, and it's from the mouth of Ashley Banfield. We actually have a Give Me 5 coming on that tomorrow. Dr. Andrew Bostom joins us, professor of medicine at Brown University, PJ Media columnist, and author of Iran's Final Solution for Israel. I don't want to really talk about that other than to get your brief comment on that. I mean, her rationalization here, that was with Alan Dershowitz, Ashley Banfield on CNN, the day that the 5 rabbis were slaughtered like cattle in a synagogue in Jerusalem. And she comes on and says, well, you know, this is a war, and because of mandatory conscription in Israel, all Israelis are considered soldiers. In other words, justifying the slaughter of the rabbis.
Right, and of course, what of course she neglects is the fact that you know, go back to the Yishuv in the 1920s. This is an annihilationist war. She's right on one account, waged against Jews in that part of the world, particularly since the Zionist movement, and it's only you know, since 1948 that they're actually organized to defend themselves. So yes, they are organized now, but it's to defend themselves against an annihilationist campaign. Period. That's all it is.
Doctor, let's talk about Christmas is approaching next week, of course, and you know, and the increased persecution and slaughter of Christians in the Middle East.
You know, Steve, I was reading a report by an organization that was actually founded to protect Christians in 1955 at the height of communist persecution, anti-religious fanaticism of communism. And its report for this year declares that, quote, it's seen more global persecution of Christians than any other year in recent history. And when they rate on a scale the worst 50 offending societies, 9 out of 10 of them are Muslim societies. And, you know, we're seeing it in its worst form, of course, with the Islamic State, with Boko Haram, with mass killings. But it also exists overwhelmingly in Muslim societies as a form of chronic grinding persecution, denial of religious freedom. You know, this is a phenomenon that's tied together, getting back to your opening, with the Islamic attitudes towards Jews as well in that region.
Yeah, it would be wonderful, wouldn't it, if we had a president who really cared enough to speak out on this constantly, or at least even occasionally, but we really don't. Pakistan was victimized by the Taliban. The president, in his condemnation, refused to mention the name Taliban. And now Pakistan has capitulated to terror. Tell us how.
Yes, well, first of all, I think there was an almost comical irony in that the Afghan Taliban was calling what the Pakistan Taliban did un-Islamic.
Right.
But today we're learning that the alleged mastermind of the horrible incident that took place in Mumbai, murdering 166 predominantly, as you would imagine, Hindus, but also targeting Jews. The mastermind of that horrific jihadist attack has been granted bail. I mean, this is within a day or two of Pakistan, you know, mourning the loss of school children in this internecine conflict, and yet this is a blatant poke in the eye to those of us that are supposed to be sympathetic to Pakistan's plight when it releases murderers of Hindus and Jews.
Absolutely, Doctor. It's insane. The world is insane. Always appreciate your input and your opinion. Thank you very much. Dr. Andrew Bostom will speak to you soon. Up next, you know what you love it. It's coming up. You can't help but listen and watch. It's Gimme 5. Don't go away.